What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. Today it is time for the Week 25 Premier League predictions, and the title race takes another twist with Man United battering Leicester, closing the gap on the top two, making it potentially a three-horse race for the first time people have seriously considered it to be anything other than just Arsenal and City. Arsenal getting a late comeback win against Aston Villa, and Man City dropping points against the in-form Nottingham Forest. So it is all to play for. Make sure you leave your predictions down in the comments, drop a like, and let's get to it. Since the last video, we've had some cool accumulator winners. Obviously, Man City and Benfica to win with the Wednesday double, both winning on a -1 handicap. I knew Arsenal were going to lose that game. As soon as Thomas Partey's out, you just know. You just know. And the Man City actually play their best team, unlike other weeks where they play a seemingly weakened team. We had a really good day yesterday at the time of recording Sunday. The Serie A treble and the La Liga treble. Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and Lazio, Juventus, Roma. Some of the better teams in Italy doing the business. And had Leicester actually scored a goal against Man United like they arguably should have done, that would have been another 12-1 accumulator. And had Union Berlin actually beat bottom of Bundesliga Schalke like they should have been, that would have been another separate 7-1 accumulator. So just 2 more goals across Europe, and we would have had another 12 and 7-1 accumulator on top of these two here. So very happy with the picks for Sunday. And a quick shout out to the new members that have joined us since the last video. William Owino, Jonathan Paz back again, and Payam Masood. If you do want to join, get exclusive members tips, and support the channel, you can click the join button down below or the first link in the description. The Premier League just keeps getting better and better. We are back. I currently don't know any results of the Champions League or anything like that. It is Monday morning, but we're going to kick it off at Craven Cottage with Fulham up against Wolves. Fulham managing to get a not necessarily shock defeat against Brighton, but certainly against the run of play defeat against the XG merchants in Brighton and Hove Albion. I'm actually going to go for a Fulham win at Craven Cottage against Wolves. Wolves taking a shock defeat to Bournemouth, which was, again, very shocking at Molineux. I think Fulham can get the job. I'm going to go for 1-0. I think this is going to be a very close game, a very low-scoring game, and I think the odds for this tip is fantastic. Fulham not to lose, so Fulham double chance and under 3.5 goals is 1.8. When was the last time we saw 4 goals in a Wolves game? Let's check. 1-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-0. That's including Man City and Liverpool, by the way. 1-0, 1-1, 1-0. We have to go back further than all these fixtures to see a game with 4 or more goals. And Fulham haven't lost in the last 3 games against Chelsea, Forest, and Brighton. Good opposition, all under 4 goals. Tottenham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Leicester, all under 4 goals. Fulham are more informed than Wolves. I think this tip at 1.8 is absolutely phenomenal. So that's my tip there. After that, Newcastle and Brighton has been postponed due to the Carabao Cup final. So we won't predict that. We'll just move on to the next one. Everton, Aston Villa. I'm going to go for an Everton win. Sean Dyche ball, Aston Villa. They were outplayed by Arsenal. You could argue it was lucky in the circumstances in which Arsenal finally took the lead. And in that moment it was. But Arsenal deserved to win that game, and it showed great character from them to come back from down a goal twice. Everton getting 2 back-to-back wins at Goodison Park, 1-0 and 1-0. I do think Aston Villa are good for a goal. Scored 2 against Arsenal, scored against Man City, scored 2 against Leicester. They're scoring and they're losing. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Everton, and my tip is Everton draw no bet at 1.83. So the bet wins if Everton win. But if it's a draw, you get your money back. The only way it loses is if Aston Villa travel to Goodison Park and win, which I don't see happening. Next up, surprisingly in a way, a bottom of the table clash, 19th against 20th. Every week in the Premier League, there's something going on, and I absolutely love it. Leeds, Southampton. I'm going to go for a win for Leeds at Ellen Road to finally break their drought. They've won 4 games, which is the lowest amount in the league. They need to pick up a win, and something tells me they're just going to do it. My tip, however, is both teams to score at 1.8. After that, Leicester, Arsenal up at the King Power Stadium. I'm going for Leicester to get a goal. They should have got a goal against Manchester United, but very much the same sort of narrative. Arsenal will take more from that Aston Villa result, and then compounded with the Man City draw immediately after, than they could have done perhaps even from beating Manchester City a few days prior. That is an absolutely monumental result, a fantastic effort, and this will galvanise them. They're going to beat Leicester, who were outplayed by Manchester United. I'm going to go 3-1. My tip is Arsenal to win and both teams to score at 3.4. And after that, it's West Ham up against the form team of 2023, Nottingham Forest. And I actually am going to go for a West Ham win. Totally against almost the run of play in terms of recent results. I just think West Ham are a better team, and Nottingham Forest away from home are not the greatest. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to West Ham. My tip is West Ham to win at 1.75. They should win. I think they'll get the job done. After that is Bournemouth up against Manchester City. Man City have been leaking goals. They conceded one to Forest. They conceded one to Arsenal. They conceded one to Villa. And they conceded one to Tottenham, of course. Bournemouth beating Wolves, drawing with Newcastle. 2 brilliant results. Can they get something from City? Absolutely not. I'm going to go for a 4-1 win to Manchester City. But I do think Bournemouth can get a goal because Man City a little bit vulnerable, a little bit shaken perhaps from that Forest result and an off day for Erling Haaland, who missed some chances. But I do think Man City are going to win at the Vitality Stadium, and I'm going to go for 4-1. My tip is Man City to win and both teams to score at 2.75. City beat Bournemouth in the league this season, last time out 4-0, but the 3 previous meetings in the Premier League saw Bournemouth score and Man City win. So I think we could very much return to that narrative. After that, Crystal Palace up against Liverpool. I'm going to give Palace a goal at Selhurst Park. I could see Palace taking the lead here. It's just, I feel like Palace, they score against Liverpool. I've so many memories of Palace scoring against Liverpool. Let me just check if that's not just anecdotal. So yeah, the last 2 meetings, Crystal Palace and Liverpool saw a 1-1 draw and a 3-1 win to Liverpool. So I do think Palace can get that goal. I'm going for a 2-1 win to Liverpool. My tip here, Liverpool to win at 1.71. Take it. I'll snap your hand off it. Liverpool are going to beat Palace. I expect the odds to be like 1.5, but I think this little run of form here has made it a little bit difficult to predict. Man United Brentford has been postponed, so we're going to move on to Tottenham up against Chelsea, and I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Difficult to predict who's going to win. Chelsea are in an awful run of form. Tottenham, they're a little bit weird, but they are now in the top 4, although Newcastle do have a game in hand. I'm going to go high scoring. My tip is going to be the draw at around 3.3. I think that's a very good shout. It appears there's some postponed fixtures that I've already predicted. I predicted whenever this was first initially meant to be played, I predicted 3-0 to Arsenal. Probably going to put that back down to 2-0 now. And Liverpool Wolves at Anfield, I predicted 2-0. I'd probably keep it there. So you know what? Let's go up and predict Newcastle, Brighton, and Man United Brentford just to see how we'd predict it going. So Newcastle, Brighton. Ooh. I'd probably go for a 1-1 draw, actually, now that I think about it. Brighton create a lot of chances. Newcastle pretty good in defence, but don't tend to score many, so I'm actually going to go for a 1-1 draw there. That was very much on the fly. Manchester United, Brentford. I think at Old Trafford, I'm tempted to say 3-1, but 2-1 seems very likely. I think Man United win. I think Brentford score, maybe even a 2-0. So I'll make the goal differential 2. We'll go 3-1 to Manchester United whenever this ends up being played. We might review it like we've done with the Arsenal-Everton fixture. So these are my picks. Fulham to get a low-scoring win. Newcastle-Brighton that's postponed. Who do you think is going to win the Carabao Cup final? Lloris Karius masterclass? You never know. I think Everton get the better of Villa at Goodison Park. Leeds finally get a win against bottom of the table Southampton. Arsenal win in an always entertaining fixture against Leicester. West Ham do the business against Forest. Man City batter Bournemouth without obviously keeping a clean sheet. Liverpool get a good win against Palace. I think United beat Brentford whenever it happens. They look like unstoppable at the moment. Tottenham, Chelsea, high-scoring draw. And then Arsenal and Liverpool getting the job done at the fortresses that are the Emirates and Anfield. So that is going to do it for this video and for my predictions. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future ones. That is going to do it from me, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.